Biker Dad is brought to you by UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Schimmerling, founding member of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Have you ever sat at your job and thought, what if I just got up and left? Tell that horrible boss to take this job and shove it. Have you ever wanted to just walk out? What about burnout? Well, that's exactly what I did, but I didn't just quit. I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell your story. Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can actually drive onto the beach. Rick Fairless, a legend of his own, introduced me to Richard Rollins, Mayfield, Kentucky, Southeast Missouri, beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee, Gulf Coast of Mississippi, the Florida coast and the Tampa Bay area, Orange County Choppers, Roadhouse and Museum, talking to Paul Tuttle Sr. himself. But make no mistake, this is not a show about motorcycles or even about me. Instead, I travel across the country to meet the people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities stronger, safer, and better. This is Biker Dad. On the road in Liverpool, New York, which is just outside of Syracuse. And we're checking out this really cool place called Sharkey's Bar and Grill. And it's become kind of a legend among bikers, but the strange thing is the dichotomy going on here. On one side, you got bikers rocking and rolling. On the other side, you got preppy people playing volleyball. So how does it all come together every week for a big event? We talk to the owner and the people who come here.
My name is Jim Nichols. I own Sharkey's in Liverpool, New York. The thing I love about Sharkey's the most is it's not just one thing. I played professional volleyball for 15 years in California. We have 12 sand courts here, which is the most in the area. We have leagues every night of the week, tournaments on the weekends. And then we built a large pavilion that is there for music. A lot of national acts at Bruce McGee and Mo. We have Color Me Bad and All for One coming and Rob Bass. So we're proud of the music that the national acts we have here, but also more importantly, the local bands, which really drive the music scene here. Quality of the musicians that we have here is incredible, like Hard Promises, Stars and Stripes, all the local bands. Arcade is an up-and-coming 80s band that we have on one of our bike nights.
I'm Big Papa from Hadestown, Central New York. Hadestown is a LEMC. We follow the rules. We're one of the good ones, I guess. This is our Thursday night bike night here at Sharkey's in Liverpool. This happens throughout the summer. Today happens to be the last day of school, so the teachers gone wild. Sharkey's is a kind of a cool little community hangout. They do a lot of live music in the summer. Bikes find a nice place to rally. They got a great parking lot. We don't have to worry about loose stones setting us on our ass. You've got a whole bunch of different cultures that come in. Everybody kind of blends together, whether you're a bike club, if you're a single rider, if you're just people that love music, love bikes. It's just a great place to hang out. No stereotypes, no problems.
You got the volleyball people on one side that you see behind me, and on the other side is the stage and pavilion, and they kind of come together in the middle of the tiki bar here. The good thing is we have so much space, you can always get away from people. We have FX Compare Harley Davidson Bike Night on Thursdays, and then we have our biggest volleyball night on the other side, and they just kind of come together in the middle, and there's never any problems. On the volleyball side of things, I'm super proud that on Fridays we have high school volleyball, and there's probably 300 kids here with their parents getting better at the game, and the parents sit there and have an ice cold Bud Light and salad, and they enjoy their time here. So it's a family-friendly place, and that's what I'm most proud of.
And we have some exciting news. Tom Schimmerling, UpstateBikerLawyer.com, who I work with keeping bikers safe here in upstate New York, and the Biker Dad TV show are now sponsors of the bike nights here at Sharkey's every week. If you're ever in town during riding season in Syracuse, New York, Liverpool area, come to Sharkey's Bike Night, one of the coolest ones that I've ever seen.
Tom Schimmerling, attorney, UpstateBikerLawyer.com. Well, it was really fun. There were a lot of people there. They had a great band, terrific band. Don't ask me to remember the name of it, but the great band. That wonderful brisket, I can tell you that. But I got to meet a lot of cool people, well, not nice people, people who are very involved in doing charitable events, bike nights and that sort of thing. And got to meet the owner. He was a very, very impressive gentleman. And I left early. I had a a really good time. Well, we're excited about that. It's a great event. It's like, tie me back to my roots, in central New York and Syracuse area. The volleyball part was very interesting because there were all these people out there playing volleyball. I didn't count them, it had to be 10 or 12 volleyball courts, with lots of people playing. It was quite a scene.
Now, my wife, Kristen, and I started it. I have 2 boys that were young when they were here. They're volleyball players as well. They help me out at the restaurant, Walker and Ben. So it's kind of a family affair, which is you can't always say that. Like obviously your daughter's to the right of you. It's something you can do with her, which is always fun. Very happy about that. This location, we're on over 10 acres here, so we can handle big events. Hooligans is kind of a legendary bar that was here a few years before us, and they were in business for 15, 20 years, and they had changed ownership and then shut down. So we just continued that Thursday. What they had was the extravaganza. We just changed it to the Thursday bike night. So people know Thursday night is music here at this location. So we just kind of continued that on.
I'm Dave.
Jackie.
Where are you guys from? Syracuse. Enjoying the music and come out to Sharkey's every Thursday night to enjoy bike night.
I think it's the local bands.
Yeah, they have a good selection of bands. That's usually it.
Bike nights on Thursdays are kind of geared to a classic rock. But like I said, Arcade is an 80s band, which is very popular. Scars and Stripes a little bit on the harder side. And then Hard Promises, plays the Journeys, the Tom Petty, and kind of right down the middle. So it's a wide range of things. And I do believe that whether you're a biker or whether you're a high school kid, people like good music. So they'll come if there's good music. Like I said, we have a lot of national acts. You can either see us at sharkeyseventcenter.com or sharkeysbarandgrill.com. Both of those will get you to our calendar of events. Like I say, we have a huge range of different type of music. Vanderpump Rules, Fame.
When is that?
And he's a handsome guy. And he's just on America's Got Talent. So that should be a big show for us. We have an eclectic choice of things. We have burgers, quesadillas, salads, wraps, a lot of bar food. We also have like fish tacos and things like that. And we do like a Friday fish fry. We'll do prime rib from time to time. So we have a regular menu, and then we have a specials menu that we change every week. No, if you've never been to our place before, it's definitely come out. Like I said, there's always something to do. You can always find a spot on the patio. Even if we have a rock band on the stage, you can find a place so you can have a nice conversation.
If you want to come check out Sharkey's, they have a huge volleyball complex, great food, cold beer, and great drinks too. And the coolest thing about it is it's all family friendly. You have bikers getting along with the volleyball players and little kids playing around. The whole family can come here, have a great meal, have fun, and hang out. And as you can hear behind me, rock out too. Make sure you come and check out Sharkey's when you're in the Liverpool area, and tell them Biker Dad sent you. Biker Dad is brought to you by UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Schimmerling, founding member of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. It's Biker Dad. We're here talking with Schimmerling Injury Law, Lindsay specifically, about issues dealing with motorcycles and law and injuries especially. And I'm basically, for lack of better terms, an influencer and a content creator, and the tools that we use to create content like GoPros and those 360 cameras, generally strapping those on our helmets or whatever because we're trying to get some cool shots and video, but they can actually be key in some motorcycle crash cases too. So tell me about that.
So when you have a dash cam or some sort of device on your motorcycle when you're riding, there's very clear evidence. There's video evidence of exactly, how the crash happened, who was at fault, what the road conditions were like, and, also who was around. And it can also help you with if you're injured and you're not necessarily thinking that there was somebody around who saw what happened, you may have picked up that footage on your dash cam, being able to see that there was somebody there who can be a witness in the accident. It also kind of clears up that the biggest factor is fault. A lot of times, the motorcyclist gets blamed, and under most circumstances, it's honestly not the motorcyclist that's to blame.
Yeah, so once you establish fault and the extent of injuries, it's pretty much how much insurance there is, and having that evidence get you over the first hurdle is probably really helpful.
Yes, it's very helpful in settling cases. And again, I always recommend to contact an attorney as soon as you're able to after you've been in a motorcycle accident.
And I imagine on the flip side, if you're riding around like an idiot, and it can also be damaging against you, so you probably want to keep that in mind before you strap the camera on as well. Not that I'm condoning any bad behavior, but I would assume that would be the case.
Yes, you want to stay safe on your bike. You want to wear the proper protective gear, which I'm sure most motorcyclists know, and just stay safe and be aware of your surroundings. The biggest thing is just being visible.
One of the biggest rides in New York, or anywhere for that matter, is the annual Let's Roll 9/11 ride in Rochester, New York. And I'm going to be back there on September 6th. Here's a look at last year's ride, just in case you're thinking about coming. I'm here with UpstateBikerLawyer.com, Tom Schimmerling, and we are here for the 24th annual Let's Roll 9/11 ride. And as you can see, they're rolling out in force. So that's where we start this episode of the Biker Dad TV show. So I already said it twice, but let's roll. 9/11 hits home to all of us, but here in New York, it is obviously a little bit closer to home, even a few hours away from the city. Everybody here knows somebody who was directly impacted by 9/11. So as you can see, there's a huge show of support in Rochester for the annual Operation Patriot Guard Let's Roll 9/11 ride. And we got to talk to the people behind the ride, and apparently they have a lack of good judgment because they asked me to lead the ride, and I get lost at home, and I'm 1,500 miles from home now, so we'll see how that turns out.
Are you ready? Let's roll!
Hi, I'm Neil Flood. I'm the ride coordinator from the law enforcement side for Operation Patriot. So we're having a ride. Every year we do this ride in honor of 9/11, and we donate money to either military organizations, firefighting organizations, or law enforcement support organizations. This year it's a law enforcement support organization. The ride's about 58 miles, lasts about an hour and a half. It's an escorted ride by law enforcement. It's been a great event for 23 years. We've raised quite a bit of money. Unfortunately this year we had to move it a day because of weather, but in the past we've gotten 700 or 800 motorcycles for this ride, so it's been pretty successful.
Hi, I'm Danielle Russell. I'm the registration manager at Operation Patriot. Well, we're having our annual fundraiser event. We have the Let's Roll motorcycle run, followed by our concert. Well, I started getting involved obviously because my father is the founder of the organization. And as I got older, I wanted to be part of such a wonderful thing. We raise money for so many things around the area, and 100% of the proceeds goes towards whatever our charity of choice is for that year.
Check it out, I see motorcycles behind me. We are in Rochester, New York at the Let's Roll 9/11 tribute ride. And, as you can see, we've had a threat of some bad weather all weekend, but that's not keeping all these people from rolling out. That crowd over there is just the beginning of it. They're still rolling in big time, like just a giant traffic jam of motorcycles, and we're gonna be rolling here in a little while. One of the interesting things is they asked me to be the honorary ride captain, and I said, I'll be honored to do it as long as I don't have to find our way. Even at home, I get lost all the time. I don't want to lead 1,000 bikers down the wrong path, but I'm happy to be right up there close to the front. It's going to be an awesome time, and just check this out. Thousands of people here in upstate New York getting ready to ride, so let's roll.
Operation Patriot started right after 9/11. And the first ride was shortly thereafter, the next September. So every year we did miss a few years, but every year now we try and do it as close to 9/11 as we can get on a Saturday. And the organization also supports, we've done memorial services for a couple of law enforcement officers that were killed in the line of duty in the last 15 years, and events like that. But this is our big event, is this fundraiser. Well, as far as we know, I mean, nobody's counting, but I can tell you in the past, when the front end of the ride is about 3 to 4 miles away, the last bikes are just leaving this parking lot. So we've counted up to 700 or 800, and you can see even on a Sunday, on a football Sunday, the bikes are still coming in. So it's pretty big ride. Yeah, we think it's the biggest one in New York State, maybe the Northeast, but we don't count exact the number of bikes, so we just like to say that.
When I was young, both of my parents had bikes too, so I've been around bikes my whole life. So it was pretty easy for me. I used to ride on the ride with my father in the beginning for the first few years, which was pretty awesome. I think that's probably also what helped me want to be involved in it, just to see it from a different perspective. Well, when my dad first started this, it was really in response to the 9/11 attacks, and he just was really passionate about feeling like we needed to do something for the community in response to such a tragic event. So it really just grew from there. It started off as just kind of a one-time thing, and it just grew, and he's grown to be so passionate about it. It's gotten bigger and bigger. We've done other events throughout the years as well. We've also had events at other locations. We've been in Buffalo, and we've been in New York City also. So we've just done different things based on every year whatever we could do. We've also done other events in response to like when Daryl Pearson was shot in the line of duty. Several other things too.
I'm a retired law enforcement guy, yeah. The law enforcement's been very, very supportive of this event, and we couldn't do it without them. You can't move that many motorcycles that far without support. The biker community's been a big supporter of first responders anyhow. Generally, they're usually pretty pro police, fire, and EMS folk, and it's great. They're great. They're an awesome group. They show up, as you can see, every year. Well, I was on the job when it happened, so, and I have a niece who lives in New York City who actually was going to school and saw a lot of it from New York City and stuff, and knew people that were in the towers. So I have a little bit of a personal connection to it. But yeah, I was on the job when it happened, so I could feel for what happened to our country then.
I think it's absolutely wonderful to see how many people are turning out and just really rallying for the cause. A lot of people also, even though they couldn't make it, they just donated their tickets, that they pre-registered for, just to donate the money towards the cause. It's very heartwarming to see what people can do when you put them together for something they believe in.
And I appreciate you coming up all the way from down there to support us, because it's great, because 2 years will be the 25th anniversary ride. We'd really like to have a really big turnout for that one. I know Tom, he's been a big supporter of this event too, right from the beginning. And I don't think it's a business support. I think it's personal. He believes in it, which is different from, hey, I'm here trying to, drum up business. I mean, great if he gets business out of it, but that's not his motivation.
Wow, check this out. They have a massive American flag right here for us to ride under as we take off on the Operation Patriot Foundation 9/11 Let's Roll ride. It just is inspiring to be here in upstate New York, so close to the 9/11 anniversary, and to see everybody coming together like we did back in the day.
Neil Flood, Operation Patriot, Law Enforcement Ride Coordinator, and you're watching Biker Dad.
Biker Dad is brought to you by UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Schimmerling, founding member of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
Hi, I'm Neil Flood. I'm the ride coordinator from the law enforcement side for Operation Patriot. I know Tom, but I know he's been a big supporter of this event too, right from the beginning. And I don't think it's a business support. I think it's personal. He believes in it, which is different from, hey, I'm here trying to, drum up business. I mean, great if he gets business out of it, but that's not his motivation. His motivation is to support the biker and the organizations we support. This year's recipient is an organization supports police canines. Last year it was, I think it was a firefighter group. Yeah, it was the Brockport Fire Department's 9/11. They have a 9/11 memorial out there. We actually ride by the memorial, and they have a piece of the tower on display out front of the fire hall. So we ride right by that piece of the tower. That's part of why we go out there. So we supported that last year. There's just been different organizations, and I think Tom's believes in supporting those organizations.
Binghamton, New York Hog Chapter. And you're watching Biker Dad TV. In New York, Biker Dad is brought to you by Upstate Biker Lawyer and Tom Shimmerly. Ride to eat to live, live to ride. A little life hack from life on the road. If you see a couple of these parked in front of a restaurant, the food's gonna be good. Because bikers know where all the good food is, and they tell each other where all the good food is. So when I was running past Danny's Diner here in Binghamton, New York, and I saw these motorcycles, I knew that's where I was gonna eat, and it did not disappoint. And the story behind this place and the man who's been running it for 53 years is even better than the food. Danny Janicki is the Danny behind Danny's Diner, and he has been here for a very, very long time.
Been here for 53 years.
Ever since he got back home from the Vietnam War in 1970. The diner was actually a prefab thing, part of a fad back in the early 20th century.
Come right up to Sunny, New Jersey. It was built 1938. It sat on the other side of Binghamton from 38 to 68 when we moved over here in 68. And then I bought it after I got out of the service in 70. I did a lot of veterans. A lot of veterans, a lot of bikers.
Yeah. Being a veteran and a biker, Danny loves to cater to our veteran heroes and those on two wheels, especially since he rides himself. His son is actually a Harley Davidson mechanic, but he loves to point out what kind of bikes they both ride. All right.
He's got a Honda. I got a Harley.
After 53 years of doing this, Danny's finally ready to hang up the apron. Now he's handing over the greasy spoon to his son. But what about the name? Is it still gonna be Danny's? What's your son's name? All right, so it's still gonna be Danny. Danny says the secret to his success has been hard work and keeping it simple. Serving up comfort food like meatballs and meatloaf, and of course, some of the best breakfast in the Northeast.
No, nothing fancy.
And Danny wants you to know one more thing, no matter who's behind the counter.
We're always here. Always here.
One little shocking thing about my experience at Danny's Diner is when they brought me the check. No, I wasn't shocked that it was so high. I was shocked that it was so low. $7 for a Western omelet, home fries, toast, and coffee. $7. I left a pretty large tip though. Thank you, Danny's, for welcoming me like I'm part of the hometown here in Binghamton, New York. I will definitely be back here next time I'm in town. Biker Dad is brought to you by UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Shimmerly, founding member of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. This is Chris Best, the Biker Dad. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. And yeah, I play a little blackjack, but the one thing, you don't want to gamble with hiring the wrong lawyer if you are hurt in a motorcycle accident. We all gamble every day, every time we get on our bike, but that's a risk that we take. So Lindsay Holcomb's here with Tom Shimmerly's office. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are.
We handle injury, accidents, motorcycle accidents, vehicle accidents, among other things in our office. I'm here today in Las Vegas attending a NAML conference.
I was in a car accident about a year ago and I did all of this wrong. So tell people what they should do immediately after a motorcycle crash.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do when you've been in a motorcycle accident is obviously if you're able to get off the road. The last thing that we want is you to be on the roadway and standing there and then have another accident occur because you're standing in the middle of the highway or on a road somewhere where somebody can't see you when they're approaching. That's only if you're able to, don't try to do it if you're severely injured. Don't try to move the bike, if you're not able to. Hopefully there's somebody around that can help you. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to call 911. It's so important for you to dial 911 regardless of who's hurt, where your bike is. We need that accident report. We need to know who's at fault in the situation. We need those facts and that information to be able to move forward with, a motorcycle accident case. The next thing you're going to want to do is assess yourself for injuries. You always got to take care of yourself before you start running around trying to take care of everybody else around you. Look for major breaks. Where are you hurting? Is your head hurt? Are you bleeding? Those are all things that you're going to want to sit down and assess immediately. As the adrenaline's kind of going through your system, you might not even realize that you've had a serious injury.
Our adventure in New York State continues, and now we're in Owego, New York, a small town outside of Binghamton, for the 2025 Vietnam Veterans Memorial Highway of Valor Tribute Ride. An awesome ride every year, and I was able to be there for the 2024. All right, we're on the road in upstate New York in a small town called Owego, which has just exploded in population this morning. Hundreds of new temporary residents. We're here with UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Schimmerling. He's a huge supporter of veterans, and that's why he brought me up to New York here. We're gonna be touring across the state, and a lot of what we're gonna be doing is supporting veterans. And this case here in Owego, we're supporting veterans who did not see that when they got home, especially the environment here in New York. It was a little bit different for veterans coming home from Vietnam in the South, where I live in Alabama, than it was up here in New York. As you can imagine, the support was not as strong, but 50 some odd years later, it's very strong now. I can see bikes as far as you can see here, and they're gonna be going on a beautiful ride through the countryside.
Hey, Chrissy with Upstate Biker Lawyer. This is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Highway of Honor ride. They do this every year. It's pretty huge. They in memory of all the Vietnam veterans. I was seeing it all the time, and a lot of our friends come. A lot of our friends are up there. I haven't seen them yet. They're always talking about it, and for a couple of years I was messaging the people, but not really hearing nothing back. And then one year, I guess they took a bite and they messaged me back, and they're kind of leery because, we're law firm and stuff. But now we've been doing it the whole time, so they love having us here.
I'm Harvey Baker. I'm one of the founders of this ride.
Paul Pagliaro. I'm one of the directors of Chapter 377, Vietnam Veterans of America.
Well, this ride is to honor New York State veterans who served in Vietnam, which were a couple 100,000.
So we're in the little upstate New York town of Owego, but look at this. It's a tiny little town, beautiful town, like just quintessential American town square. It's definitely grown in population today, and all these people are here to support veterans from Vietnam. It's a pretty amazing sight.